Going into college, sometimes you don't have a lot of opportunities to really explore different aspects of agriculture. By default, you're thinking, okay, I can do a farm, maybe I can do inspections. Certification sometimes falls into the background.
Yeah, this work was totally not on my radar at all prior to an organic inspector speaking to my class.
A lot of my interest in agriculture started probably when I was in college. And I knew I wanted to have a career in food and food systems and agriculture.
It was just like a light switch. I was searching for something as a college student. I had changed my major 3 times. I didn't know where I wanted to go. Once I was exposed to this work, I was like, this is so cool. People at the heart of it, food systems, lots of stuff that I care about.
When I got to Santa Cruz, I was definitely, leaning towards going into organic ag, yet just kind of dipping my toes in the water. And when I was wrapping up my degree and everything, I was trying to figure out what the next steps were. And
my career path is really interesting. I got my bachelor's in agricultural business and then my master's in animal science at Colorado State University. And the one thing that I was really passionate about was being around the people that produced our food.
So I wanted to do nonprofit work. I knew I wanted to do ag work, and this position at Georgia Organics kind of just opened up fortuitously. My background in undergrad helped gave me the skills I needed to know at least the basics of production or production on a production farm.
I initially started college, with the idea of becoming a veterinarian, but like a lot of folks, I quickly learned about food systems in my college courses, and I was like, this is really cool. There's so much that goes into food systems. There's so many supply chain considerations.
Was fortunate enough to land in some production farming jobs, and then eventually made it into the grape growing and winemaking space, and just kind of applied for a job on a whim, just to kind of just throwing a fish hook out to see if that was something that might interest me. And when I first showed up for the interview, I just felt like culturally it was meant to be, and there was a lot of intention and a lot of intention behind why people wanted to work there.
It wasn't an intentional transition, I would say, into certification and verification, but I knew that I wanted to be with people and agriculture, and there's really no better way to do that than in an industry where you get to meet these people and you get to be on their land and you get to walk around with them and travel across their property and see the work that they're doing, getting their hands in the soil and raising these animals and the care and the attention.
So everybody eats, everybody has to make choices around what they eat, and that's extremely personal to people. And it comes with a lot of decisions of, should I choose local, should I choose seasonal? It brings about really meaningful conversations, and I find that every single time I tell a friend or family member I'm in this work, right off the bat, they're like, that's so cool, I've never thought of that. And they have a lot of questions, sometimes spanning from, is that real, to what does it mean, and everything in between. And to be able to talk somebody through what organic food is and what's behind the label is really meaningful.
It's really impactful to, go into a grocery store, pick up a product, and you say, I had a part in this. I did something to help this producer get to where they are now.
I've organized, I think, maybe 5 to 6 farmer field days at this point. So just giving farmers the opportunity to have face time with each other is really important. And there's just so much farmer to farmer learning and connection that can happen in those field days. And I think that's really when I find the most meaning. I also find a lot of meaning when we can save farmers money.
I believe firmly that there is no other way to get exposure to the agricultural industry like you can through certification and verification. I have been in this work for 18 years and I learn something new every single day. Every production system does something a little bit differently. There's new innovations happening all the time. The diversity of food production that you get exposed to in certification and verification is unlike anything else. You may have a passion for beef and livestock. You might have a passion for organic crop systems and everything in between, seafood. There's so much breadth and depth in the food industry, and oftentimes careers take you down a very siloed path in them where you're focused on one type of commodity, one type of production system. And certification and verification knocks the doors off of that. The opportunities are endless. The exposure to all of these different kinds of food systems is unlike anything in the industry, which is where I think the diversity and the opportunity in certification is bar none.